Hi coders, welcome to Coding Casually. Today we'll be learning how to create password generator in Python. I have my Visual Studio Code installed on my system. If you want to install the same, you can check the link below and get the installation done. What we have here is a new file in Visual Studio Code and I have named it pwgen, which means password generator. In order to generate a password, what you need to do is you need to have the list of characters that you'll be using in order to get this password. Plus, in 2020, most of the websites or the databases or where you want to put the passwords, they would need the password needs to meet a specific criteria, and that is one uppercase and lowercase elements plus the special symbols. So what we'll do is, first of all, we'll import a simple module called random so that we can generate random numbers. Why do we need to generate random numbers? It's something that I'll tell you afterwards. So after that, what we need to do is we need to create the list of characters that we would be using for the password. So what we can do is we can create a list, and that list would have my chars, and then we have to give it the characters that we will be using. So of course what we can do is we can start from A to Z, and we'll start creating the list by mentioning A, and then we would be going till Z. Made a list of characters starting from A to Z, plus I have made another list which is of special characters, and it has 5 special characters in it so that we can use the same in making or in generating the password. So in order to generate a password, what we can do is we can ask the user about the length of the password that he desires. So what we can do here is we can write user input and give it the value of input, and then ask the user, please tell us the length of password needed. Right, and now of course it's an input, so it will be treated as a string. So in order to convert the same into an integer, what we can do is we can write int, and we can push all of these under the brackets. So now we have a user input which will tell us the length of the password that we need. Right, so now we can use this input in order to create a definition of a function. Right, we'll create a function called password gen, and then use the same user input as a parameter. And then what we can do is we can start working on the second problem, and that is creating the list of breakable characters. Now this list is empty, and but we'll of course fill the same with the password. Now what we need to do here is, first of all, let's push this ahead. Of course it's a function, and we have to put colon here as well. Right, now the second thing is we'll create a loop that will start from 0 and will last till user input. And of course user input will be, so suppose if a user input is 10, so we will try to make it go from 0 to -1 of user input, so that the length can be covered. Right, so now what it will do is it will create, or it will go from 0 to what the number has been defined by user, -1. Now what we need to do is we need to fill this with characters. What we can do is we can write this, and then we need to use random of all these and these. Right, so before we push any of these into this, what we can do is we can write random selection equals to random dot rand int, and what we'll do is we'll start from 0 to 25, because these are 26. We'll fetch a character from this, and we would need my char here, and then we would have a random letter here, right? And then we can copy the same, cut the same and then push it here, because we need it to select randomly. So we'll copy the same, or we don't need to do the same, we can write my pass dot append bracket open random cell. Now what's gonna happen is it'll pick random letters from here and it'll start appending the list with those, right? After this, what we would get as an output is, suppose if a user has given us a 5 length, it'll give us 5 characters, and it'll push those characters in my pass. Now furthermore, we need to push a uppercase letter into the password as well, plus a special character as well, right? Special characters are 5, right? What we can do is, after the loop is done, we can create another random number by writing random dot randint, and then start from 0 until 5, and we can name it a special char. Now what we need to do is we need to change the characters in the list called my pass, and what we can do is my pass, and then again what we have to do is we have to pull out a random number or a random character from the list. And for that, what we can use is we can use the last random, or we can even generate a new random number by making new random number. By writing random here, and then rand int, and then bracket open, now 0 to what, that should be user input, and then -1. This will give us a new number, and then we'll copy the same, we'll paste it here, and then give it a special value. And how we can do is we can copy this, and here we can simply paste it, bracket can be open again, and then write special here. Now it should be in between these, so let's write it again, and now we would have a special character which will replace the characters which we have pushed into my chars. Now for the uppercase, what we can do is, again we can generate a new random number and then push it over here, and then again this can be copied, this can be pasted, and then nothing else should be done. It's very simple. What we can do here is we can copy the same and paste it here and write upper. So what's gonna happen is any character which is there in this place will get uppercased. We have to put the same into the string so that we don't make any mistakes, or neither we get any error from Python. And now we have a list which has a special character and an uppercase. In order to join all those letters and make a password, what we can do here is we can say we can declare a variable called generated password equals to nothing. We don't have to join, so there is no gap. We can simply write join and then the name of the list, and we can return the value of generated pass, and this is how we create a generated password in Python. So if you want to do it, if you want to see the same in action, we can create a function called let's make password, bracket open, bracket close, we can do a colon here, and then user input is something we have to call this function. We'll copy this, we'll say we have to print, of course, and then we push this. This is the name of the function that we'll be using. Let's start the process by calling this function. Simply we'll do a copy paste, we'll paste. Alright, so what we have done is we have written the function here, and now we have to run the function. So before we go and run the function, we have to make sure the mistake that we did initially, we have to remove the -1 which was here, because what happens is it won't go till the end, it will stop before that, so we don't want it. So we have to remove -1 from here, and then what we can do is we can run the function, and let's see how the function runs. It should ask us the length of password which we need or which we desire, and yes, of course it asks us the same. We want a password to be generated of 5 in length, and let's see, yes, we have a password here which has an uppercase value. It also has a symbol in it, plus it has all the lowercase values. If you like the video, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.